Hey guys, how we doing? Welcome back to the channel. As always, thank you for joining me. You are now on week 5 of this Manchester Marathon training vlog. This week we have got 5 mile easy on the plan for today, Tuesday. However, we are going to go out and run a 6 mile, just because 6 miles puts me on to 100 miles for the month, which will be a huge achievement for me to get to. First time I'll have ever done 100 miles in a month, and it shows some consistency as well for what I've done so far this month. Truth be told, we have been feeling crap the past couple of days. Bit of fluey bug got in yesterday, but we are out doing it nonetheless. 6 miles, get it sweated out of me, get 100 miles on the plan under my belt for January and roll into February. So a bit dark out, and I've not brought the GoPro with me, so we'll dump back in as we get to the end or just finishing. Just a little roundup as to how the run went. No real pressure or pace or anything on this run. It's just a very easy run, getting it done, and we will catch you later. See you in a bit. So guys, there we have it. First run of the week complete. Just over 6 miles ticked off. 100 miles for January, which, as I said, is an absolutely massive achievement for me. I'll have a quick look and put up on screen what I did in January 22 last year when I first started my running journey, so you can get an understanding and appreciation as to how big a leap it is for me in a year. But yeah, that's that, done, dusted. Little walk back up, about 200 yards back home now, and in the shower, and a nice big bowl of pasta for recovery. So just on recovery there, last week we started, or had a video consultation with the guys from Precision Fuel and Hydration, talking about my marathon strategy for fueling, gels, etc. So I'll do a little bit more detail in a separate video about what we did, what we talked about, what we went through. But yeah, jumping on board with the Precision gels and electrolytes, recoveries, etc. Give them a whirl ahead of Manchester training. So see you on the next run. So guys, there we are, we're back in the office. So this week we had some technical problems with the GoPro. Part technical, part error, human error. I took the GoPro out with me on Friday's run, which tried to get it working, it just wouldn't turn on. Battery was full, just wouldn't come to life. So we had to unplug everything, take everything to pieces when we got back, put the battery back in and restart it. And then went out on Saturday's long run and got about 2 miles into the run, looked down and realised I'd left it on the sofa. As I say, part technical issue Friday, and then user error by forgetting it on Saturday. The week didn't go as planned. Started off on a massive high, hitting 100 miles for January and completing that easy 6 miles, which you've seen on the video there. And it was a comfortable 6 miles, no doubt about that. I unwittingly missed a run on Wednesday because I didn't realise it was in the plan. If truth be told, I'd been looking at the wrong week, and work's been quite busy. So I didn't realise I'd got a steady run on Wednesday, followed by a interval session on Thursday. But Thursday
I was working late, got football training with Charlie on a Thursday night. So again, just had no time to get the run done on Thursday. So that meant, in essence, I'd missed 9 miles from this week's plan. So I spoke to Sam and asked what he thought I should do, and he recommended just getting out for an easy run on Friday before going out for my weekend long run on Saturday. I pitched to him the idea of going out and doing a 8 or 9 mile run on Friday and then doing my long run on Saturday. But as you'll come and realise next week, as we've moved into my second phase of this marathon training, we got into the period which is now a build phase. So we move on to 5-day-a-week training. So I've got easy and steady run Monday and Tuesday respectively. So it wasn't advisable to come off the back of a long run on Sunday and into the first week of 5 runs with Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday and Sunday. So we just did an easy, just under 4 miles, lunch run on Friday, and nice, comfortable pace at around about 10:52 a mile. We'll put the stats on screen so you can see exactly where we were. But that was 10:52 a mile, nice easy pace. We stayed pretty consistent. 10:49, 11:02, 11, and then 10:39 for the final mile. And then we went into Saturday's long run. So bit of to and fro with Robbie. We were going to go over to the Peak District and do a relatively flat trail, but Robbie was trying to do some fueling training as well whilst out on his run, so prefers the opportunity to run a loop so he can leave some water and some gels on the loop rather than having to carry the kit with him. So I went out on my own and did a 5 mile out and back with sticking a Parkrun in the middle of it. So it was a good run, pretty consistent. I say pretty consistent run, really consistent run through to about 12 miles. And I pretty much hit a wall on 12, 13 miles. Now, I think part of that is fueling. I got up, I went out an hour earlier than I was originally planning to do, so I didn't take on breakfast, I didn't have a drink before going out. The other part of that is the fact that I ran a relatively hilly route. I wouldn't say it's massive, but it's a damn sight hillier than Manchester's going to be, than Barcelona half's going to be next week. So I think I need to find some flatter routes to do these long runs on and make it more my training more akin to the race conditions, if you like. So as I say, we went out, averaged 11:23. That was really hindered by mile 12 and more so mile 13. But we'll, again, stats on screen here, we'll run through the stats for you. Mile 1 was 11:19, mile 2, 11:31, mile 3 was 11:19, mile 4, 10:44, mile 5, 10:39, at which point we did about 5.5 miles, just under 5.5 miles, and then we started the Parkrun. So mile 6 was 10:52, mile 7 was 11:19, sorry. Mile 8 was 10:57. So that brings us to the end of Parkrun, and then we're back out onto the route home. So mile 9, 10:52. Mile 10 was 11:05, and mile 11 was 11:11. So as you can see there, we've got in total, with the exception of mile 2 that I was quite slow, backed out quite a bit for whatever reason, I don't know why. We've got relatively consistent breakdown from about a 30-second variance across all of that mileage. We then jump into mile 12, which was 12:39. and mile 13, which was a 13:17. In mile 13 there, I ended up stopping off at a shop, getting some Lucozade Sport in order to get some fluids in. As I say, fueling, and I mentioned fueling earlier on in this vlog when we were out on Monday. Fueling is something I'm looking at quite intently, and I have moved to precision fuel and hydration. I'll be doing a separate vlog on what I'm going to be using from Precision, but in essence it's looking at their 30 gram carb sachets, gel sachets, and then we are looking at the 1500 pH sodium electrolyte tablets and sachets for drink mixes, and then we've also got some sodium capsules that we will take, again 1500 pH sodium capsules that we will take on the runs themselves in order to reduce that cramping, and as I say, we'll talk about that in more detail, but yeah, hit a bit of a wall on Saturday's run, and part of that was the elevation. I'm 60% of that, 50 to 60% of that was elevation, I would say. I'd done some decent climbs throughout the course of the run, and then we got into the last 2 miles and there was 3 or 4, I wouldn't class them as brutal climbs, but they were relatively sustained inclines that we were climbing, and at a point where my fueling hadn't been quite on point and I was starting to tire. I think it just had a detrimental effect on me. Sam messaged me straight away after the run and tried to find out where we were. He's not too concerned. I'm not too concerned, if truth be told. I think it's just potentially a little bit of fatigue, tired legs, potentially need to look at flat runs, and I think we'll go out to the Cloud Trail a little bit more for the long runs, and actually getting out and back on flat ground, and then the fueling side of it as well. So yeah, that rounds up this week's plan. We're doing this on Tuesday. We've already done Monday's run where we have got the GoPro back working and back out with us. So we will get some more in-run footage for next week. But for now, as always, guys, really appreciate you following the series. Really appreciate you following my running journey. Next step will be Barcelona half marathon in 2 weeks' time. As far as this vlog going out, we'll talk a little bit more about that next week as we are out running and building into Barcelona, and then we'll do a lot more detail when we get into Barcelona from the following week. So I fly in on Tuesday the 14th. We race on the 19th, the Sunday, and Emma's flying out to me on the Friday. So yeah, I've got a week out there in total. Some work, some travel, pick up Man United Barcelona while we're out there, and then I'm out to jump into Barcelona half marathon with a number of colleagues from work. So yeah, have a great week. Please, if you haven't already, like, subscribe. Hit me up in the comments if you are looking for any detail about anything I cover in any of my vlogs. But pass the message around your friends. Get my message passed on to your friends who you think will benefit from seeing somebody that might be in the same place as them. And we will see you next week. Cheers, guys. See you later.